everybody. It's Linda Schulte, the broker-owner of Schulte Realty here in the Central Florida area. And today on this segment, we're going to be talking about title insurance and what you need to know in order to convey your property, or you as a buyer need to know before you purchase a property. And I'm very honored today to have with me Dana Williams with St. Lawrence Title. Thanks, Dana, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Tell us a little bit about you, your company.
So St. Lawrence Title, we are located in downtown Orlando. We're a boutique agency. We have a small team, but we have big service and very hands-on service. And I brought you this as a gift today from our office.
Oh,
so I'm sure you can use it as a broker on the go.
Awesome. I could always use another bag, you know? There's always stuff I'm carrying around with me, so thank you, thank you. All right, let me put this down here and we'll go ahead and get started. So, you know, I've been doing real estate for quite a while and run into some buyers and some sellers, and they always say, what in the world is title? Like, what does a title company do? So can you explain to us, what does a title company do in a real estate transaction?
Yes, I can. The list is really long, so that's start with that. We are kind of with everyone through the process, from sometimes even before the contract, but all the way to the end, to the closing table. Okay. And we're doing a lot of things behind the scenes, not necessarily people seeing it. Right. We're getting a lot of information on behalf of the buyers and the sellers. We're clearing title. We're handling escrow funds. We're preparing all the documentation that you need to pass clear title from the seller to the buyer and bring everybody to the finish line for a happy closing at the end.
Mm-hmm. Just touch on a few things: clear lien, clear title, escrow. Lots of stuff goes into all of this. So another question a lot of people do ask me is, do I need to have a real estate attorney, or can I have a title company? So what's the differences between a title company doing the process versus a real estate attorney?
Okay, that is a good question. So the real estate attorney, of course, is licensed to practice law. Title agent is a licensed professional as well with the state. We're licensed through the Department of Financial Services. We are permitted to draft contracts or documents that pertain to the closing, or any legal documents, only if we're issuing title insurance. So once we step outside of that lane, it would be called the unauthorized practice of law. Something any of us could be, you know, in danger of if we're not working on a closing transaction.
Right.
So I say, really, attorneys are very important in real estate as well, and you need an attorney when you need an attorney. But fortunately, in the state of Florida, we are a title agency state. So you can conduct your real estate closings with a title agent, and we're very specialized and very expert in only that area. So that can be an advantage. Sometimes real estate attorneys are a little broader, or they're in maybe a more specific area that relates to the different pieces of the transaction, but not the closing process.
Right. Yeah, I know, and we don't want to say anything like, oh, you don't need a real estate attorney, because we never say that. You don't need an attorney. We never say that. We always give the option for you to go ahead and have that as a possibility. But, you know, in all the transactions I've done, I think I've only had an attorney involved with it maybe 3 times in over 300 transactions. And so with, you know, when do they have to pop in? When it goes outside your line of, your scope of what you can do.
Yes, and we do have underwriters as title agents, and those are usually legal advisors. They're attorneys. They're panels of attorneys. So we all, you know, try to answer our questions and guide the transaction. But then when we have a question that goes a little bit outside of the lines for us, we have that team of legal counsel through the underwriters.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah, no, I've heard that before. It's like, let me check with the underwriters. And then if it's something that goes outside the scope, then I know you can go out and get an attorney to write a certain, I know POAs are power of attorney. We're going to go into that a little bit later. But those are some things that you guys can do at your company, but depending on what the level is going to. So we have so much to cover today, and I really appreciate you being here. Can you hang out a little bit longer? Because we're going to take a little bit of a break. And I'll have a couple more questions. Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break right now, and we will be back, and we'll be talking with Dana Williams with St. Lawrence Title. See you in a few minutes.